Good morning, everybody. Just barely. It is 11:16 Mountain Time here in the United States. It is March the 27th. And so we are going to be doing messages for all signs for March the 28th. We're going to do 5 minutes of Reiki after that. And then we will have a little time for free-for-all questions or card of the day. As a matter of fact, let me get my phone set up. I didn't put it on silent, so let's take care of that quickly. And let's see, we're going to go till. All right, so we are ready to rock and roll. Excuse me for that. Aries, let's start with you guys for March the 28th. March the 28th, and that is a Wednesday. Yes, yes. Okay, so for Aries, what do I have coming in for you guys for March the 28th? Aries, I feel like you have some new beginnings coming in, and I feel like these new beginnings are coming in because you have reached your goal or reached an accomplishment that you've been shooting for. And so once you've reached that goal or accomplishment, then you are stepping into the next thing almost immediately. It's like you're not even really giving yourself time to smell the roses and appreciate what you've already done. Taurus, it feels like there is some kind of deadline that is closing in for you. Maybe Wednesday is the last day to get ready for this deadline. I'm not sure. But it feels like as this deadline closes in, you're feeling more and more pressure to make sure that everything is up to snuff and taken care of. That's for you on the 28th. Gemma Croft Baker. Hello, hello. Marcia Knowles. Glad to see you back in the room, my dear. Anna Lopez. Hey, hey. How are you? I'm fantastic, my dear. Gemini for March 28th. Geminis, I feel like on the 28th, you're jumping into something new. But I don't feel like this is like you're jumping in some kind of rash way. I feel like this is something that you have been considering and thinking about already. And so as you're jumping in, this is something that you've thought about and you've just decided, okay, I'm ready to go into this full force. And that's what you're doing. Okay, so that's Gemini on the 28th. Tina Miller, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you here, honey. Let's see, let's look at Cancer for March the 28th. I think a lot of you Cancers are actually going to be exploring some kind of alternative version of healing. So something that's not Western medicine. It could be Reiki, it could be some kind of shamanistic thing. But there's something that you are looking into. For a lot of you, you're looking into this for assistance with something in your life, whether it's medical or emotional, etc. But for a few of you, I'm going to say 20 to 30%, you're looking into this um, with your mind on somebody else and how they might be able to benefit from that. So that's Cancers. Victoria Lenave. Good morning, good morning, good morning, my dear. Glad to see you here. I forgot to top off my drink. I hope I'm going to be okay with that. Let's look at Leos for the 28th. Leos, on the 28th, I have the sense that you are going to be looking at a situation and blending not only how you feel about that situation emotionally, but also what your intuition is telling you about the situation in order for you to, I think you're not so much making a decision about it as much as you are moving it forward. So you're going to be listening more with your heart. You're going to be listening more with your intuition. I think that you may be bringing a fresh serving of compassion to the table in whatever the situation is that you want to move forward, Leos. That sounds great, Victoria. I was wondering about that. Roll me back. Hello, hello. Welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you? How's your new job going? Ms. Victoria, how's your new job going? Victoria, it's actually not Victoria. We're going to do Virgo next. Virgos on the 28th. What do I have coming in for you guys? Virgos, I do feel like you're going to be receiving some sort of accolade from somebody. This could be, you know, a attaboy basically, or an attagirl from a boss or a supervisor. This could be receiving a plaque or a medal or some kind of token of appreciation. It could be in your personal life, but I am getting a much bigger sense that this has to do with more of your public life. Let's say it that way. Not necessarily work, although that will be it for a lot of you, but public life. Let's put it that way. Libra on the 28th. What do I have showing up for you guys? Thank you for the thumbs up. For those of you who have given this video a thumbs up already, by the way. Libra. Libras, I feel like on the 28th, you're going to be organizing yourselves right into boredom. You're going to be getting things organized and in a row and the way they're supposed to be. And by the time you get done, I think you're going to be like, this doesn't have enough character now. Scorpio, let's take a peek at you guys for the 28th. Should say, let's take a peek at us guys for the 28th. I'm feeling my heart tighten up whenever I feel into the 28th for us Scorpios. I think that we may have some stressful situations going on the 28th. We may be getting triggered by some things that are happening around us or some things that are said to us or around us. So it's going to be really important for us to stay grounded and keep breathing through the day. Okay, so that's for my fellow Scorpios and myself. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. On the 28th, you guys are going to be digging for information. Some of you may even be getting readings so that you can get information. For some of you, this is going to have to do with relationship, but for a lot of you, I feel like this has to do more with work or career and things going on in your workplace as far as politically. Okay? So that's Sagittarius. For those of you who are here, if you have not already, please share the video. That way, when we get done with these next 3 signs and we go into Reiki, we'll have more people here, and the more the merrier. If they have questions, I can answer them directly. Capricorn. Let's look at you guys. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Happy, happy Capricorn. Capricorns, you are coming up as being very happy on the 28th. At the same time that you're coming up as being very happy, I think the reason that you are happy is something that you want to keep more on the down low. This is not something that you want to shout from the rooftops. You know, this could be that you're feeling like you have forward progress in a relationship. This could be forward progress, you know, up the career ladder. Maybe you've got the inside tip that, you know, you're being considered for a promotion. But I'm just feeling like you're very happy about something, but it's not something that you want to just share with everybody around you and tell them all about it. There's a little hint of mystery or secrecy around the source of this happiness, Capricorn. Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius on the 28th. What do I have showing up for you guys? Hannah David, good morning, good morning. Glad you're here. Aquarius, I think you're going to be doing some inner reflection, reflecting on yourself, maybe even some inner growth, looking at what makes me tick, what makes me happy, what makes me sad, why? Why do I behave the way that I do when it's in direct opposition to the things that I want? Those types of things you're going to be looking at, Aquarians. On the 28th Wednesday for Pisces. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Pisces, I'm kind of getting similar messages, more than I would expect for you guys lately, because I know you guys are anti-confrontational. But the message that comes in is that you guys are going to be making some really good points in a discussion or an argument on the 28th. And these are points that people are going to listen to, that are going to have their attention. They're going to be things that these other people actually have not thought about or considered. And they're going to realize that as soon as you start making these points, Pisces. Willie Dog's mama, you are just in time. Patty E, hello, hello. Glad to see you, my dear. Sorry it has to be a quick in and out, but we're glad you got to stop by. Okay, so that was all signs. Let's do rules. If you have something specific that you would like the Reiki to focus on, feel free to adjust that intention. For those of you who are watching this video after the broadcast is complete, please know that all you have to do is set the intention to receive the Reiki energy, and you can get just as much benefit from it as those who are here right now in the moment. Okay, so let's get this going. All right, so we're starting at 11:28. We'll finish up at 11:33. Kelsey Rice, hello, hello. You're quite welcome, Willie Dog's mama. Anybody who has questions about Reiki, this is the prime time to ask those. If you're feeling different things going on in your body or with your emotions, as I'm sending out the energy to you and you want to talk about that, this is a great time to do that. Just in time to get Reiki. La da 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 da. What do you notice the Reiki doing for you, Ms. Kelsey Rice? Whenever you get it, have you noticed a trend? Thank you, all of you, for being here and hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys keeping me fresh, fresh, fresh. Those of you who are interested in actually scheduling a Reiki session with me or scheduling a reading with me, you can find my contact information on my website, which is www.amista.info, I-N-F-O. Willie Dog's mama says you're welcome. Let's see. Thank you for being you. That's how I am allowed to be me. I think we all make a pretty good family unit here. For those of you who are in the local area, I also do psychic parties, either where I read for your guests or I can facilitate as you and your guests explore your own psychic abilities. I do clear houses as long as you live within a 2-hour driving distance of Golden, Colorado. And what else do I do? And I teach Reiki if you want Reiki lessons. You're goofy today? We'll take goofy. Goofy is a good place to be. I like it. 3 more minutes, by the way, of Reiki, guys. Feeling a lot going out into somebody's foot, especially there. Which foot would this be? This would be a right foot. I've also got a lot of base chakra energy, leg energy, arm energy, hand energy, especially on the... that's actually, did I say left foot? That's the right foot. But leg energy, or the arm energy and hand energy, wrist energy, that's on the right side as well. Also feeling heart chakra, solar plexus, third eye chakra. Oh, yeah, definitely. Reiki helps if you're not feeling good. And in different sky, if you want to go back and like replay the Reiki session from today or any other day, you can suck more energy out of that if you want to repeat that. Oh, very cool, Gigi. Was it a vivid dream? Oh, wow, Willie Dog's mama. That's a visitation type dream then, Gigi. You were actually visited by her spirit. Hmm. Why don't you call me later, Miss Lisa? I have something to run by you. See what you think about it. Okay, so that is our 5 minutes of Reiki. Let's move on to free for all questions or CODs. COD for Anna Lopez. Let's start with Anna Lopez. You guys know I like to start with the Lenormand, so Anna Lopez is getting a Lenormand today. You're quite welcome, Patty E. Hannah David, what Leo woman are you talking about? Do you know who you're talking about, or is this somebody that a reader told you about? La da 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 da. Oh, I missed Indifferent Sky. Indifferent Sky, I'm going to come back to you. Anna Lopez. Your house card is the Stork. Your cover card is the Fish. Ooh, baby, baby. This is an upgrade in your financial situation. You could be getting a raise, a bonus. That's a very positive combination. So good for you. Let me backtrack because I missed Indifferent Sky there. Oh, Hannah David. When people come to me with questions about something another reader has said, the first thing that I want to do, because I don't know that other reader or their accuracy or their validity, is I want to question if what they said is actually accurate to start with. Because sometimes if you start asking questions like that, you can end up going down a wild goose trail. I mean, I don't know how well you know your reader, how good her track record is with you, and I really have to question why you didn't ask her about what she found for you. There's something going on there. So I'm not really comfortable with that particular question. If you want to ask, like, is she right about, was she right whenever she said this? We can look at that and get that established. That's about all I'm going to feel comfortable with on something like that. At least for starters, for one question at least. Indifferent Sky COD, you've got the sun in reverse. This just tells me that within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you have been or you're going to be doing something that feels really good to you and enjoying it. And you're not going to be doing it alone. You're going to be doing it with somebody else. Okay, so that's for Indifferent Sky. Okay, I like that question much better, Hannah. We'll get to that one whenever it comes up in chat. Gemma Croft Baker, we're doing the COD for you, my dear. Gemma Croft Baker, or COD, you've got the High Priestess in reverse. This tells me that there's something that right now you're really confused about and you're having a hard time understanding what's the best thing for you to do and what's really going on around you. Does that make sense for you, Ms. Gemma? Willie Dog's mama wants a COD as well. Willie Dog's mama. I immediately had like 3 cards fly for you. You've got a lot of energy around you. Oh my gosh. I just had a whole bunch more of like fall out of the deck. I know you need a reading, honey. I'm not even counting all of these. Let's see. COD. You're quite welcome in different sky. You're quite welcome, Anna. Willie Dog's mama, COD. Things seem to have calmed down a little bit there with the deck. You've got the King of Swords. So sometime within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, the King of Swords is going to be playing some kind of significant role in your life. When you've got the King of Swords, this is somebody who's very logical. They think things through. They're really good at making a plan and following through with it. They're really great for giving you business advice or advice about things that are not so personal or emotional. However, when it comes to emotions, they kind of tend to suppress them because they look at everything logically. That's kind of their focus. So if you want to go to them for like personal information or personal advice, probably not the best person. But if you want to go to them for business advice or advice coming up with a plan, then they're really good. And so this is somebody that's going to be, or has been, impacting your life. So that's Willie Dog's mama. Angela Lukes needs a COD. Okay, Angela, what you have is the shaman in reverse. This is just telling me that sometime within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you were feeling really frustrated with getting things done that you wanted to accomplish. Maybe there's snow on the ground, so you couldn't go out and do what you wanted to do or something like that. But that would be an example. Anyway, that's your card, Angela. I hope that makes sense for you. Frustration. Kelsey Rice also needs a COD. Him or her. This is going to be a him or a very assertive her. Normally, a king is going to be a him. If it's not a him, like I said, it'll be a very assertive female. That Reiki sweatshirt. Oh man, this is a great Reiki sweatshirt. One of my clients actually sent this to me for Christmas, and I love it. I wish I had about 15 of them, actually. Let's see, who am I up to next? We just did Angela Lukes, so now we're doing Kelsey Rice's COD. And now you guys have talked more than I can keep up with on the screen, so I'll have to catch up to you guys in a minute here. Kelsey Rice, we're doing the Lenormand for you. Ooh, you got a nice house card. It's the heart. Good job there. Cover card is the moon. Ooh, baby, baby. Okay, so you have like a secret love or a secret admirer. There's something going on that has not come into full blossom yet. Notice the word yet. This could be a revitalization of an old of feelings for somebody that you've been with for a while or an old relationship, or it could be something new that is beginning to spark and grow. Maybe even just on a subconscious level so far. Okay, so that's for Kelsey. Tina Miller needs a COD. Tina Miller. COD for Miss Tina Miller. Okay, my dear, you've got the Knight of Coins showing up. This tells me that you're being very diligent, either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours. Let's see if I can get caught up. And now I lost myself. Okay. I try to do well looking at the chat. I like this new way of broadcasting that YouTube's come up with because I can see more of the chat at one time. And that helps me because you guys get so far ahead of me. Okay, so this is for Ms. Victoria. Victoria Laneve. Okay, honey. What are you doing talking to somebody like this again? Really? You got a King of Swords in reverse. This is a grumpy, num, 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 num. This is a grumpy man. Could be a very assertive woman, but probably a man. So somebody who's moody, grumpy, They normally like to think things through and be very logically insane, be very logical and sane, but sometimes their emotions take over. And when emotions take over for them, because they're not used to operating in that way, that kind of freaks them out and it makes them even more grumpy and yucky. So this just shows that either within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you've dealt with somebody that is being very moody and yucky. Let's just say yucky. And I hope that that interaction is already over for your sake, Ms. Victoria. Okay, so Hannah needs to know what kind of trouble will she have in August with her job. Once again, we're going based on somebody else's reading, which makes me really freaking nervous. So I am going to back this question up a little bit. I'm going to say, what's going on with Hannah's job in August? I'm not going to assume anything except that you have a job in August. We're going to assume that much. What's going on with Hannah's job in August? Excuse me. Well, you've got some interesting stuff going on here, okay? The first thing that I have showing up for you, we've got the star card in reverse, which means that you're not feeling very hopeful at your job. You're not seeing very much go well or being improved. Things that you might like to see improved, you're not seeing really any hope for that happening. We do see Seven of Cups in reverse. This tells me that you begin to focus. I feel like, which way is this focus going for her? I feel like you're going to be starting to really get serious about working law of attraction, and you're going to start focusing on what you actually want in a job. All right. And the next card we have coming up is the wheel. That turns the wheel. Your actual focus on law of attraction and really working it begins to turn things around for you in your job and in your workplace. This is showing that the relationship between you and whoever your employer is a fantastic one. We've got the lovers. And the lover shows that you guys are a good fit for each other. So that's really nice to see. And then the last card, we have the Lord in reverse. Now, the Lord in reverse is somebody who's narcissistic. They can have goals that change every time you get close to reaching the first goal, then they do a new goal. This is somebody that you're going to be working with. It's really interesting, though, because it comes up right after the lovers, which means that this lovers card actually influences this. Doesn't mean that you're sleeping with the boss who's an asshole. What it means is that this guy is probably an asshole, but for whatever reason, you have his favor. He pays attention to what you say and he listens to you. Okay, it's probably a he. It could be a she, but it's probably a he. So whatever's going on there, I mean, this guy can be making life total hell for everybody else, but for you, not so much. And I know that that doesn't seem reasonable, but I can tell you I have seen that. I have had a job before, way back when I was in my 20s. I had this job, and the boss was just this grumpy guy. He should have retired a long time ago. He couldn't see well, he couldn't hear well, but he was in charge of the store where I worked, and he he was cantankerous. That's the best word I can find for him. He was cantankerous. He didn't mean to be, he just was. Everybody else couldn't stand to be around him. He would say the most mean, awful things. He would call people fat and tell them, oh, your button popped off your vest because you're just too fat, stuff like that. He was never, ever, ever mean to me. And he used to actually come to me and ask for my advice about what to do about things going on in the store, which always blew me away. But I definitely had favor with him. And that's what's coming to mind as I look at this. Like, you could end up working for somebody who's just a real cantankerous, and yet you have favor with that person, and you have the ability to influence how that person handles things in the workplace. Does not mean you're sleeping with them. I certainly wasn't sleeping with Mr. Cantankerous, and I don't have that sense for you either. Okay, so that's for Hannah David. Let's see. Barbara Jackson, good afternoon. Good afternoon, my dear. Glad to see you here. Let me get a COD for you. COD for Barbara Jackson. Barbara Jackson. Okay, you got the Great Bear in reverse. The Great Bear in reverse just tells me, Barbara, that it's going to be really tempting for you, or if it has been within the past 24 hours, one of the two, really tempting for you to be offended or insulted by somebody, even to extremes, okay? But instead of jumping on this person and knocking them down to the sidewalk and slapping them silly, which is totally what it seems like they deserve, you decide to give them grace and let things slide off your back like water off of a duck's back. And usually when I see this card, what ends up happening is after you've given somebody grace, you find out later, like some of the backstory of what was going on with this person when they were acting in such an insulting or offensive way. And then it's not like it doesn't make what they did right, but it makes it to where it's easier for you to understand how they were in a bad place. And usually people end up being glad that they did not jump on somebody and knock them down to the sidewalk and slap them silly after all, even though it's probably their temptation. Okay. So that is for Barbara Jackson. I hope that makes sense for you, my dear. Marcia Knowles is up for a COD. We're going to do Lenormand for Ms. Marcia. Ms. Marcia. Let me see if I can scroll down without losing myself this time. Okay. You're not sure yet if that means anything to you, Gemma? Just wait and see then. You're quite welcome, Willie Dog's mama. Oh, thank you on the shirt, Willie Dog's mama. Yeah, that is a very nice message that you got, Ms. Rice. Lisa, oh, hello, hello, and I guess goodbye, goodbye. You're saying have a great day. Maybe you'll run into your ex. Right? Let's hope not is right. You're quite welcome. Let's see. And this is a card of the day, so wouldn't be this weekend. This is going to happen. If it hasn't happened already, it'll happen within the next 24 hours. So this is Marcia. Marcia, your house card is a man. Does not have to be a romantic man, although that is implied by the card with the rose. Certainly could be. And what's the cover card? Oh, the child. Okay, so Marcia, there could be somebody that you interacted with within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours that is a man who has a child. I'm hearing has a son, but the cards are just saying a man who has a child. Or it could be somebody that you have interacted with or will interact with within the next 24 hours who is a man who acts like a child. I've seen this come in that way too. So either a man with a child or a childish man, or a man with a child who is also childish. Anyway, that's somebody that you're going to be interacting with or you have interacted with within the past 24 hours, Miss Marcia. I hope that makes sense for you. Let's see. Who's next? You keep hearing August and job. I didn't have anything about a job going out. Well, if you're hearing August and 17th, that could be a very significant date because remember, whenever I looked at the spread for you, I mean, there was definitely an energy shift. And it was right about the middle of the month, too, because I didn't shuffle these cards in yet. Because right about the middle of the month is when you get the Wheel of Fortune going the right way. But I think it has to do with your own working of the energy, your own working of law of attraction. And after you get that, you get the Lovers. And I think you're going to be favored by this cantankerous man. I like that word, cantankerous. I think it fits. Probably a man. Could be a woman. Probably a man. Julie S. would like a COD. Bugs me because I hear numbers all the time. You know what, Hannah David, I would recommend, if you hear numbers all the time, what I would recommend is that you start really deeply studying numerology. That may be, the spirit language that Sacred Spirit wants to use with you. You can pick up books of numerology, like even Barnes & Noble has them. I have a really good one. I don't know if it's even still in print. Let's see, it's called Numerology and the Divine Triangle. It's pretty thorough and in-depth. Javine and Bunker. It's out by Whitford Press. And I'm sure there are other really good ones out there. I think that one was published originally in the 70s. You're quite welcome, Hannah. Julie S. would like a COD, so that's what I'm focusing on now. Julie S., Queen of Clubs, showing up in reverse. This is telling me that within the past 24 hours or the next 24 hours, you've been feeling kind of down and a little bit depressed. The Queen of Clubs, when she comes up right side up, is very sunshiny, very outgoing, kind of a effervescent type of personality. She's someone that uplifts others when she comes around. When she's in reverse, this is telling me that she's not really in a place to uplift others. She's kind of down herself. So that's what I'm seeing for you right now, Julie S. I hope that makes sense for you. Lisa O wants a COD. Oh, she's still here. Lisa O. Oh, Lisa O is still here. You are quite welcome, Willie Dog's Mama. You have the same book. It's really a good one, I think. Right. Well, a lot of times psychic language is very symbolic. A lot of the messages that I get in whenever I'm feeling and listening for messages, I have to look for the symbols behind what I'm hearing and seeing. Lisa O's COD. Okay, honey bunny, here you've got the World card showing up in reverse. This is just telling me that there was some situation where you felt like you could have everything you want, that the potential was there. And now you're starting to see that maybe that was a nice first impression, but not so realistic. You know what I mean, Blue Jean? You'd show me your photo. Yep, exactly, Willie Dog's Mama. Julie, you may want to, if you're feeling blue, you may want to check into getting like some Reiki. I do offer the first Reiki session free if you haven't had one with me before, to help you with your emotions. I mean, that helps with grief, it helps with anxiety, helps with a lot of good stuff. So get a hold of me and let's get that scheduled for you. Nikki Jane, hello, hello. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? Oh, gotcha, Marcia. I'm sorry your signal's so bad. That's frustrating. You're hearing me? Okay, good, good. You did a smudge last night and a sea salt bath. Those are both really good. Definitely. Another thing I like to do is stand under the shower and ask Sacred Spirit to wash away all negativity from me under the shower, and imagine that going down the drain with the water too. That's another way to energetically clear. Well, it can be just a phase if you get Reiki on it fast enough. All right, so that answers everybody's questions. My alarm hasn't even gone off. What should we be doing next? When is my alarm supposed to go off? I've got 1 more minute. Let's do a room card. We're going to do a room card for everybody here. There's like 10 people here. So let me explain what a room card is. I'm actually going to use a different deck for this. This is my Whispers of the Lord Ganesha Oracle deck. I normally don't use Oracle decks. This is the only one that I actually have, and I like to use it for stuff like this. So basically what's going on is we're just going to do a little training. For those of you who don't know how to read cards, I'm going to show you how you can read a card. And so I'm going to hold up a random card here and you're going to read it for yourself. I'm going to walk you through it. Okay. So what we're going to do is, after I hold up the random card, what I want you guys to do, as soon as you see the card, I want you to be paying real close attention to what pops into you. What's the first thing that bounces out to you from this card? First impression. Is it a color? Is it a little piece of the picture that really hits you strongly? What is it about this card? Is it a word? Is it the number on the card? What is the thing that really pops at you the first? And if you have something else that really pops at you soon after that, pay attention to that too. But if you've never read a card before, really focus on what's that first thing that pops at you, because that's going to be the most significant thing, okay? So I'm teaching you guys actually how I read cards. So it's going to be the first thing that pops at you. I want you to pay attention to that. Once you see what pops at you, I want you to type it into the chat. This is an interactive thing. Tell me what it is that's popping out at you from the card. And then I'm going to ask you guys each some questions about that. Everybody's answers are going to be different. I don't expect you guys to expect the answers to be the same. I don't want you guys to compare your answers to anybody else's. I don't want you to judge your answers against anybody else's. I don't want you to judge anybody else's answers. Because this one card is going to be significant for each and every one of you in the room, but probably in very different ways for all of you. Okay? So let me just pull the card and we'll walk you guys through this. Okay, let's see what it is. I'm kind of nervous. This is our card. What's popping, guys? Start typing in. What's popping on the card for you? First thing that hits you. You're seeing the gold, okay. What about everybody else? We've got 9 more people. His helmet. Gotcha. The light coming off the helmet. There is some of that, isn't there? There's almost like a reflection or shadow. The jewel between the eyes. Oh, right where the third eye is, too. Grace in the giving gives great rewards. Now, that is not something, Lisa, that's not actually in the picture. Is that the first thought that comes to you as you look at this picture, though? And like the fourth hand, I don't know where you're starting to count. Are you talking about the ball of white? Are you talking about the bowl of the ball of white, the apple, or the other thing? The ball of light. Okay. So that's what you're seeing. Yeah, you can see the elephant definitely has things to share, doesn't he? Next was what was in his hand. Okay. It's long snout, right? Okay. All right, so I haven't counted. You also see humility. Okay, so I haven't counted how many responses I've got here, but I think we're on a good roll here. So now the next thing is, now that you know what jumps out to you about this card, I want you to think about, what does the thing that jumped out to you, what does that symbolize to you? So for those of you who saw gold, what does gold symbolize to you? What does a helmet symbolize to you? What does a long snout symbolize to you? You're sensing direction, protection, yeah, generosity, giving, riches, somebody who's nosy. That could be. Someone with a sticky beak. Okay, so now I want you guys to think about whatever it was that the thing that you saw that popped out to you represented to you. I want you to think about how that fits into your life. Because once you know how that fits into your life, then you have your message of the card for you. And you guys don't have to all share your messages if you don't feel comfortable, but it would be interesting to see different messages and see who came up with what and how different the messages are. You're protected by spirit. That's a nice message to receive. Sometimes we use weight to determine direction. That's true. The more you give, the more you receive, but only if in a humble way. That could be true. Yep. You think you have been protected your whole life. That could be the message. That could be a confirmation of that for you. Secondary gain. What is secondary gain, Tina Miller? What does that mean to you? The third eye, seeing how to be generous and giving, possibly helpful. Jane, that's really a great point because a lot of times we just want to give, give, give because we know somebody needs something. But it's really good to have that intuition to see if we're giving in a healthy way. Share all the riches and you'll also feel rich with love. That could be. A lot of us who are empaths, we try to give like too much. We try to give to the point that it actually isn't helping us and it isn't helping the other person. So having that intuition about when is a good time to give is good. Okay. Well, this was fun, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with me. I do appreciate you all helping and enjoying and participating. And I look forward to seeing y'all here the next time. Everyone have a fantastic day. Peace out.